Hey everybody, Gingernator here, bringing you another Minecraft tutorial. This time it is the long-awaited, much-requested automatic brewing stand. So let's cue the camera studio mod and let's get cracking. Today I'll be showing you guys how to make two different versions of the brewing stand. The one over here is a dropper version, and the one over here is a hopper version. The hopper version is completely internally contained, and there will be no loss of items at all. And the dropper version, if you're like me and have heaps of cobblestones laying around the place, and you can spare to lose some, then that is a good option for you. Now, before I go into a very in-depth explanation of each one of these, if you guys can click the annotations on the screen to skip straight to the tutorial. Otherwise, stick around and stay tuned for a in-depth explanation. Alright guys, so this is the hopper version over here. It's fairly simple, the whole concept of it. The way it works is you come over here, you push the buttons that you want, and let's make a splash potion of invisibility that has been extended. There we go. Now, whenever the buttons are pushed, they power the blocks right here, which then power the hoppers containing all the different ingredients for everything. There's 2 rows of those. And then all those get put into the hoppers. Hoppers then transfer all those items into these hoppers right here, and finally into this staging hopper, as I like to call it. This one, when there are items in here, since the signal over here, I'll get to that in a second, and then those finally load into the brewing stand itself. Water bottles are supplied from the side via this hopper and this chest full of water bottles. I'll explain this in a second as well. The way that this whole thingamajig works is this torch right here powers this hopper, preventing it from letting any potions out while it is brewing. Once there is no more items left in there, as you guys will see in a second, then this comparator becomes unpowered, unpowering this block, unpowering this repeater, unpowering this block, unpowering this, or rather updating this piece of redstone dust, because there is, as you can see right there, there is actually something inside there. Now there's 55 items total inside these hoppers, which is exactly the amount of time it takes to brew something inside a brewing stand. Once that happens, using CodeCrafted's bud switch / timer, it'll then output a signal over here, reactivating this torch, which will then power these 2 pistons, or these repeaters, and then turn this pistons, which is a pulse limiter. As you guys can see, 1 tick, 2 ticks, the block right there will be right here. It gets powered first, and then the piston gets powered, which will allow the redstone here to be powered for only 1 tick. This goes to a pulse lengthener of, I believe it is 1.5 seconds. Indeedly it is 1.5 seconds. Then that will then unpower this torch right here, allowing the potions to fall out. However, the reason why more potions don't fall out, like such as the water bottles in here, is because this is still powered. This comes in 2 seconds later. See, we have 5 repeaters on 4 ticks, which have been inverted, meaning it'll always be powered by default. So that way no potions or no water bottles get poured into here whenever we want just potions. And as you can see, there are no potions stuck in any of these hoppers, only inside there. Splash potion of invisibility extended. So as you can see, it works for a very long time, very complex potions, or it can work for even short potions, such as just a 3-minute potion of fire resistance if you wanted to. So then after this brewing hopper becomes unpowered, allowing the potions to fall out of the brewing stand, then it will become powered again before this 2-second delay runs out, which will then keep the water bottles, or will allow the water bottles to flow from this hopper, and then this being powered will keep them inside the brewing stand. And then they are delivered to the chest over there, and that is pretty much it. And you just have to wait for the rest of the stone or whatever items you want to put in this hopper to get transferred back to this hopper in order for it to be used again. It really is only a 10-second cooldown, I would say. And that is now this is the dropper version of it. This is very similar to the other one. Hopper and dropper setup over there, all the same. The brewing stand itself setup is pretty much the same, just the only difference being that it goes to a inverter, or a torch right here, which inverts the signal, going to a 4-tick repeater, powering this block, powering this dropper, which has just a bunch of random items in there, which will then fire into this little glass container with a one cobweb, one below, and then once this becomes fired, allow me to demonstrate. And you can fire this thing off pretty much as fast as you can click, because I can see it always ends up in the same order. Now, as you can see, this is unpowered, as is this, because there are items in there, and the comparator is powering this block. However, which would normally cause an update there, but because this is off now, there's no power going to it, not allowing it to drop anything. So then once this runs out of things similar to over there, it'll then repower itself, dropping an item into the cobweb, which takes about 24 seconds. Since it takes 20 seconds to brew something, then it'll be just a little bit longer than the time necessary to brew that last potion, that last ingredient for the potions. It'll then trigger this tripwire, sending little redstone signals this way to start the signal, and then this way to also extend the signal. A total of 0.9 seconds on this delay right here, since it does take a little bit longer to fall and go through the rest of the repeaters and all that. However, it'll then reach this block 1.5 seconds later, and then they'll unpower this torch, unpower this hopper, that hopper, letting the potions fall out of there. As you can see, it just dropped a little item right there. It'll then unpower that hopper, letting the potions fall down. It'll then repower it, since it's only 1 tick. Then 2 seconds later, there's 2-second delay. It'll then let the water bottles fall out. Those will get repowered again, and then you can start the process all over again. Did you guys see that happen? Cobwebs are a little bit glitchy. Yep, and that is it. Now, for the hopper version, you will need a space that is 12 by 5 in size. As the first step is to make a 5 tall wall. I'll do that right now. Then we can come over to the right side and count 2 blocks, or leave a 2-block space right there, break a hole right there, and then we can come over here, create a nice little platform for our character to get up on. And these is where all your buttons will go. Now across the bottom we can go ahead and put our item frames. I'm gonna need about 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. Boom. Like so. Actually, that's one over too many. My bad. Right there. And we can go ahead on the top and make sure you leave a 2 gap right there. Place 6 at the top as well. Go ahead and place your buttons 6 per row, like so. And then we can come around to the back side, and then we count 2 in and 1 down. 1, 2, 1. Boom, 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 boom. Make sure you have 6 droppers. Like so. Now it's time to add our ingredients into our droppers. My recommendation is that you put your nether wart in the most bottom corner one, and then you put your primary ingredients in there first, such as your blaze powder, your magma cream, your golden carrots, those things. And then you put your secondary and tertiary ingredients in there, such as glowstone, redstone, gunpowder, etc. Now comes time to put our hoppers into against the back of our droppers. Now, the way I do this is as so. Just simply create a line of hoppers facing into one another. Next step is to place a series of hoppers right here. And have this hopper facing into that one. Make sure that there are no hoppers facing down, they're all facing into the final one here. What you can do is you can delete this one right here. You can actually place one right there, face those into there, go ahead and delete the other one right there. Now the brewing stand itself will go right here. All the ingredients will come in from the top, go into the top slot on the brewing stand, and then they will be brewed. Next you place a hopper on the side, and then hop up, place a double chest or single chest, depending on however often you want to refill the thing, of water bottles. You can add those in. Next comes the smart aspect of the whole setup. Place a block right there, with a comparator coming out of the final hopper right before the brewing stand, and place do not put it in subtraction mode, place a block up, and then come over here, place a repeater going into another block, like so. And we can come down here, place a block down there, some redstone right there, and then it is time to make Code Crafted's bud. Simplest way to do this is to place hoppers like so, one leading into another, place a comparator on each end right there, have them powering a block with a piece of redstone on it, have that powering sticky pistons, place a redstone block like so, and then we will place a torch on the end right here. Now come over to the side, and one block in, we will dig out a 3x2 area. We'll place a redstone torch right there, redstone dust there, a repeater on 4, and then 2 repeaters on 4. Connect them up with some redstone dust. We can go ahead and build up a little slab pillar type thingamajiggy. We'll go ahead and do this number right here, and place some dust right here, another 4-tick repeater, dust, and then another 4-tick repeater. This is the timing mechanism for the chest with water bottles in it. Now you can go ahead and dig out a 2x channel, starting from the torch here, extending to the edge of the wall here, and going one underneath the wall, and extending all the way until the chest right there. Leave the block underneath the chest alone, and then the block underneath the last hopper, that can be dug out. Now we need to place repeaters, a 3-tick repeater right there, a 4-tick repeater right here, another 4-tick repeater right there, and one last 4-tick repeater. Now place blocks in between all those, place redstone all the way along there, and then we will need to place a sticky piston right there, a block right there, we can go ahead and delete that one, then some redstone dust. We will have a 1-tick and then a 2-tick repeater as so, and we will have a redstone line connecting the block when it is here to the repeater right there, which will then power the line in turn and unpower that torch, doing the whole timing mechanism. And then last but not least, we need to count in 1, 2, place a block, redstone with a torch. And now, once you have filled up all your dispensers and hoppers and everything, this is ready to go. One last thing. First you have to place, let's just use glowstone lamps, you have to place 50, there we go, 50 items of any sort inside the hoppers right there. It does not matter which one because eventually it'll all reset itself. And now we are done with the hopper version of the brewing stand. Now we will be making the dropper version of the brewing station, and we make the same 12 by 5 wall that was over there. I know I made it with 13 blocks originally, I fixed that. Just take my word and use 12 instead of 13 as I had showed you. But you make it 12 wide by 5 tall, and this one will need a space of 7 on the Z-axis or X-axis, whichever one is located. Now, like as before, it is time to create our little platform. We come over, count 1 in, place stairs all along there, count in 2 blocks, 1, 2, delete that next one. We go boom, boom, like so, and then place our platform down right there. We can go ahead and grab our item frames and place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then go up to the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom, we can go ahead and grab some buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we can fly around to the back side, second row down, count into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that we are around the back side, it is time to drop down, place hoppers leading from the chest up into the air. We will go ahead and make hoppers all the way across there. Go ahead and fly up, and hoppers leading from our droppers into this final hopper, which then go into our brewing station, or stand. Once we have it there, go ahead and place a block right here. We will have a comparator leading into another block, which has a torch on it, which has another block coming off it, going down into a 4-tick repeater, which powers a block, which has that's not what I need, a dropper attached to it. This dropper will then have, there it is, boom, cobweb right there, glass surrounding it, like kind of so, except for we don't need these corner pieces, save some glass if you're playing in survival. And now what we need to do for the tripwire is dig out a 3 wide space right there, place a couple of blocks on the edges right there, tripwire, shift, and once you get the hitbox that, click, it is now attached. Very nice. So now coming from this block, we have a piece of redstone, a repeater going into this block, redstone dust behind it, a line of redstone coming out to here. Go ahead and dig down underneath there, place a block, place some redstone dust there, line of redstone coming from there, it will appear right here. Go ahead and place a block, place another block, place a couple of repeaters, make those 4-tick delay repeaters right there, and then we will come over here. We can go ahead and grab some of that good stuff right there. Go ahead and place that right here, place some redstone on top of it right there, redstone there leading into it. Now, since this redstone is going underneath, it will not power this hopper. You do not have to worry about that. 1-tick repeater going into there. We'll have a 4-tick right here, another 4-tick right here, going into some blocks right here, and going to, I believe I've miscounted. Place another one right there. Redstone connecting all that good stuff up. Now we also need to, for one thing, place our brewing stand down on top of this hopper as we did before. Place a hopper leading into it from the side. Place a double chest or single chest, depending on how much maintenance you want to have to do, on top of that hopper, and then go ahead and fill up your dropper over here with waste materials, whatever kind you want. And we are done with the dropper version of the tutorial. Now, the real crying jewel of this entire design is that it's just so compact. It's only 12 by 5 by 5, and for a brewing station that can do all of your brewing needs, I think that is absolutely incredible. I am very proud of this design. I would really appreciate it if you guys leave a rating down below. If you have any questions, check the description, drop a question in the comment. Music is by Araya and Mark Dreamer. I am using the Flow HD texture pack. I appreciate you guys for watching, and y'all have a great day.